This conference will now be recorded.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. Without any delay, let's start our session. Yeah, for today. Uh, Now I hope it is audible and able to see my screen. Yeah. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for understanding. First of all, apologies from my side. On the record, I'm telling you to you guys. Uh, I mean, which is not in my hand. Sorry for that. Uh, as I told yesterday, I was in some room in a hotel room. So and I mean the Wi-Fi is acting like anything. So I connected to my hotspot suddenly. Again, it
Did we lose Sujit again, or it's only me? I'm not able to hear.
Even I can hear him.
Okay.
In.
okay. So what we discussed in our last session? What was the topic we discussed in our last session? I think we set up with JDK. Everyone set up with JDK, and you are having JDK 8 on your missions right now. Can I say that? Yeah, everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
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 Anypoint Studio. Have you set up the Anypoint Studio?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Sujit.
I think hope it is there on your desktop. And once you extracted that, you should see the Anypoint Studio folder like this. So anyone executed this Anypoint Studio batch file? That will make executable file. Yeah.
Mm,
And it should be
yes.
7.15 only. It should be 7.15 only. Okay. So now we are not going to touch about any point studio right now. We are not going to talk about, or we are not going to practice anything on any point studio right now. So first we will discuss about few concepts in integration, like what to understand about tools coupling, logical coupling, and all. And I hope everyone knows about the basics of web services as per our discussion in last week session. Right. So let's take there is one third party application. It's an Amazon application, Amazon web application. It is having one service called get all products. Get all products is one service, and the implementation of this program is Java language. Okay. Now from the client application, okay, from the client application, I want to consume this Amazon application. So what is an idea? And this client application is written on .NET. Now tell me, what is an idea how they will communicate with each other? Yes, please.
Through web service.
Through web service. That means what? This Amazon application should expose that service as an API, isn't it? So this Amazon application should expose the services as an API. That means let's take this Amazon application is using SOAP, SOAP as a service provider. Yeah. So basically idea is there is one third party Amazon application, and from the client application I want to communicate, and these two applications are written on two different languages. Okay. So what is an idea when you want to communicate with another application? That application which you are going to consume, which you are going to connect with, that application should expose as a API. So it is using SOAP as a service provider to expose that services. Okay. And what is the protocol it can use? SOAP is a protocol dependent or protocol independent? Is it protocol dependent or independent, guys?
Dependent.
Independent, right? So can I use HTTP protocol for that? Obviously no, right? And let's assume this is deployed on some Tomcat server. Let's take 6060 is the port number. Okay. And when it is deployed, what is the file where it will, where you can see the description of this entire application? What is the API file name? If it is a
Wisdom
SOAP
file?
service, exactly. What is it? WSDL file.
Wisdom.
You know, WSDL. WSDL means web service description language,
Angle.
right? So what information is present inside that WSDL? Generally, what type of information will be present in the WSDL?
All
The URL
the
invoked.
Pardon? URL.
all the service
Okay, or else,
information or
tell
fields
me the
related to
format.
XML.
XML
XML.
only. Everything will be in XML format. Only the signature of the methods like get all products request, starting tag, ending tag, get all products response, starting tag, ending tag. Basically, the signatures of the methods in XML format will be scripted in the WSDL file. And also, what is the port number, what is the service name, everything, entire application's information is described in this WSDL file. Now, whatever the logic generated in the WSDL file, based on that, from your client application, you are going to send a request to get all products and you are going to consume. Correct? Yes. Now, let's take the third party application implementation is changed from Java to some other third generation language. Do I need to change from my client application? Do I need to change the logic at here? Existing logic? Do I need to change that logic if the third party application change the implementation?
No.
Hmm? No, right?
No.
Yes, no, no,
No.
No.
because in our case, client application is sending a request based on what logic? The implementation of the third party application, or whatever the logic generated in the WSDL file, based on the WSDL file only, right?
Yes.
So what will be the information present in the WSDL? The signatures of the methods. So if the implementation change, the signatures will not be changed, no? So can I say these two applications are loosely coupled, right? So
Yes.
whenever we are integrating with any two entities, we need to check for whether the two applications are loosely coupled or logically coupled. Loosely coupled or a logical coupled. So I want to tell one more point here. If anyone from non-IT background, these concepts you will not find out anywhere, and don't think that by seeing first session or second session, this is very tough to understand. This is very complex to understand. Don't think in that way. Okay, going forward, a session will be easy, but these concepts also you need to know. There is no other option, right? So since it is feeling very complex, if I'm not telling that concept, if I started with this very easy concept, if I'm ignoring this concept, that is unfair. So I don't want to do that. I mean, I will give the information. If you're not able to understand in one sitting, just watch the reading in multiple times. Definitely you'll understand. It is not a rocket science. It's a very simple thing, very simple English language. Just you need to visualize everything because you are very new to the industry, right? So you need to visualize. So in the first day many people will tell, okay guys, I will attend one session, I will attend two sessions, and then I will confirm. I will ask them straight away, what you will confirm within one session or two sessions. Can we decide the entire tool in one or two, to whether we can learn it or not? No, right? So the point is, you need to, whatever you choose, you need to stick on to that, and you need to go dive deep into it. Okay, that is way of learning from my side, in my perspective as well, right? So don't give up, please stick on to that, and please hold on. You will understand very easily going forward. Okay, these are the I can understand that these are the complex scenarios what I'm explaining right now, where any developer or any experienced candidate can understand. But you can also understand if you try to visualize. Okay, if anything is not there, if you're not able to understand, try to visualize that, okay, this will happen, this maybe happen like that. Okay, so if please think in that way. Yeah, so these two applications, whenever we are integrating with any other application, we need to check for whether it is a loose coupled or a logical coupled. So what I mean by loose coupling, just now I talk about one scenario. In the third party application implementation, if it is my client application, if it is not dependent on the third party application implementation, then I can say that two applications are loosely coupled. Then what is a logical coupling? I will tell the definition. If you are able to satisfy the definition, then I can say that scenario is a logical coupling. Okay. Logical coupling means when a client is sending a request, client don't need to know who is a service provider on the other side, right? From the service provider perspective, he don't want to know who is the sender, who is sending the request from other side. So if you are able to achieve that, okay, by using some mechanism, if you are able to achieve that, then I can say the two applications are logically coupled. So in which scenario we can make that possible? How, by using what tools we can make it possible? Let me improvise the same example again one more time. So what is the third party application? It is a SOAP application, right? And your client application is what type of application, guys? Client application is also, yeah, you need to remember this point. It's a web application. Who will develop the web applications? Integration
Developer.
developers or web developers?
Web
Web developer.
developers.
Obviously web
Yes.
developers. Yeah. Others also please participate. Try to participate. Nisha, Santosh, I think, yeah, these are not related to any previous sessions. No need to worry about that. This is a fresh session which I started. Okay. Last sessions only the setup of all the softwares. Nothing technical I discussed. Yeah, Santosh. So whatever I started now, this is like new to everyone as well. Okay, for you also it is same. Okay, just try to participate in the session. Since you are a developer coming from developer background, this concept you might know about already. Yeah, I can't hear anything from your side if you are speaking. So,
I know that.
anyways, yeah. So client application means web application, third party application is SOAP application. What is my requirement? I need to connect with a SOAP application and I want to consume. Okay. Now when a request comes, previously we are using HTTP as a protocol. If I want to satisfy this definition, I should not use a HTTP protocol, because HTTP protocol, we need to know what is a third party application, what is the endpoints present in it, everything we should know, right? If I want to know about that, then I cannot satisfy the definition like third party. Client, from client application we don't want to know who is the service provider, so this definition will not be satisfied, right? So so what I can do here is, we can use some other protocol instead of HTTP. Any other protocol, you name, guys? Can we use any other protocol we can use? Just name some protocols, no?
File transfer.
HTTPS, SFTP, FTP.
Can't we use JMS protocol, Java messaging service, right? For example, let's take when the request comes, messaging service means one message will be created. One message. Let's take this is a plain message. Any message contains what? Any message contains what is the structure of a message? Have you gone through
Header,
about HTTP message format?
header and body.
It contains header and a body. Okay. Now this message will send to some queue. Messages will be stored in a queue, right? Let's take the queue name I have given as in queue. Okay. Where the messages will be, I mean, where the queues and topics will be stored. Can we use any brokers in between?
Yes. Yes.
Any useful, I mean, very popular brokers in the market right now? Can you name
IBM
please few
MQ.
brokers? Yeah.
ActiveMQ,
IBM MQ.
Kafka.
RabbitMQ,
Mhm.
RabbitMQ.
There is any point MQ also, and there is a Rabbit MQ also. Like that, many are there, right? Out of this, ActiveMQ is a open source. So let's assume you are using a ActiveMQ as a third-party message broker in between. So while you are sending the message, when you are sending the message, that message will be stored in some queue according to the configuration. Someone will poll onto the queue. Polling means what? Someone will come onto the queue, will check is there any messages there. They will read the message, execute the logic according to that, and give the response back. And give the response back to the message broker. But where the response should be stored, in which queue, who will decide that response to be stored in so and so queue? If in the response there is no header to which is mentioning about so and so queue to be stored this message, if such information is not present, my ActiveMQ will create one temporary queue internally, and it will store the response over there. Once the execution is completed, the temporary queue will be disappeared. It will not be persisted. So if you want to make it persist, then what I should do? While sending the message itself, under the header, sorry, under the header, there is one header attribute called reply to. While sending the message, we can mention the header called reply to. Reply to what? You should specify the queue name. Let's take RESP queue. For example, while sending a message, we have header called RESPQ. My third-party application will execute the logic according to the input request and give the response back. While in giving the response, under the response, we have a queue name called RESPQ. What my ActiveMQ will do? Okay, it will check for is there any RESPQ present in the broker? No, right? So what it will do? It will create one new queue with the name RESPQ, where the data will be stored in that. The response will be stored in that, and that data will be persisted. And the client application will poll onto the queue and will read the will consume the message. Here anywhere my client application knows who is the service provider at the end. From the service
No,
provider perspective, do you know who is the client who sent a message?
no.
Because as a client, we sent a message to some queue. Okay. From there, someone is coming and someone is executing the logic according to the configurations. So I achieved a logical coupling, but this message broker is an overhead to my project. Okay, overhead to my project. I don't want to use this message broker, but I still want to achieve logical coupling. Let me improvise this, and why I am telling all these steps, what are I all these points you'll come to know in few minutes. Okay, so let me improvise the same scenario. So I'm using a client application. Client application means what type of application it is?
Web application.
Yeah, web application will be developed by
Web developers.
web developer. So web application, and third party application is of what type? What who is a service provider? SOAP is a service provider, right? So when the request comes, I said one message will be created. This time I will create my own proprietary message format. It's a my own message format. Of course, any message contains what? Header and a body. Now I will send this message instead of to the third party message broker. I will send this message to internal memory queues at your web application level. Some internal memory queue. So internal memory queue can be called as what? In enterprise terminology, this internal memory queue can be called as, any idea? Channel. Okay. From now onwards, if I refer as a channel, please understand it's a internal memory queue. Now, I will configure one component, and please understand component means already that there is a logic. There is a logic. What type of logic? Uh, it will take this plain request as an input, which is there in a queue, and converts into SOAP related request to send the request to the SOAP application in a SOAP format. SOAP format means what? You know, it will accept only XML format, right? So this component, I will call that as a adapter. This adapter knows how to take the plain request as an input, converts into SOAP related request. So that's why since it contains SOAP related request, I will call that as a SOAP adapter. Okay. So internally some logic is present. Please understand in that way. Now, in this case, I introduced the two new points. One is channel and one more is adapter, right? Now, after 6 months or after some time, they change from SOAP adapter, so I mean SOAP API to REST API. The third party application change the service from the SOAP API to REST. So what is the change I need to do at my application level in this case?
Okay.
Hmm? Come again.
We need to
What
change
is
the
the change I
adapter.
need to do at this
Adapter.
application level? Adapter. Simply change from SOAP adapter to REST adapter. If this adapter is already written and given to you, is it easy to configure instead of you writing the logic? Yes or no? And
Yes. Yes.
simply I just used one component here. Like that, if I have if I have a multiple logics, I mean I need to fulfill while connecting with the third party applications, or while you are connecting with any other applications, that such kind of ready-made logic, if it is available, why I need to write the logic at my web application level? Am I not writing this integration logic? Whatever you are able to see in a green color rectangular box, is it not an integration logic? What do you mean by integration logic? Integrating with any other applications. That logic, is it not connecting with any other applications right now? So for REST applications, yeah, yes or no? Where I'm writing that integration logic? Where I'm writing that integration logic? Inside web application. For example, if anyone from Java background and you are going to connect with a database, how many lines of logic you will write? Will you write the data source connection logic? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Data source connection logic, like one I mean at least 4 to 5 lines of a line, by connecting to the JDBC driver and you giving the credentials of I mean credentials, I mean username, password, entire logic you should write. So that logic, specifically that logic, is it not connecting with a external database, and my Java application is not connecting with the database there, not integrating with that application? Yes. So that
Yeah.
Java logic, if is already written and given to you as a connector, will it not be a helpful to you? Instead of you writing a logic, just drag and drop, give the credential details, username and password. Is it not helpful? That ready-made connectors are, if it is are available. So is there any such kind of ready-made connectors are available anywhere? If it is
Yeah.
available, well and good. You can declaratively connect to the web application. Instead of you writing the logic, you can use this ready-made libraries. Before going to the library, I want to make you feel like since I used only one adapter, you may not feel that much complexity here. Let me improvise this scenario. Uh, why I should write the integration logic inside a web application level. Same again, client application here. Client application means web application. Who is, I mean, web developer will develop this application. I may consume a REST application or a SOAP application. So we have few requirements when you are connecting with the any other application. Before connecting to any other application, first requirement is I want to validate the incoming request, validate the expression otherwise. Okay, validation to be done, and I want to transform the data from one format to another format, and that plain format I want to send as a REST request or a SOAP request. So request to be sent accordingly. So these are the three requirements I have before sending the request to SOAP application or the REST application. Okay, now when a request comes, convert it to message that will be kept in a internal memory queue channel. Okay, this is a plain request called X. Now, what is the component I can configure in order to validate or in order to what do you call the I mean basically validate the incoming request. So what component I can use here? Component, don't try to understand about the components. We will see slowly one by one. Okay, going forward. Component means which contains some logic, the functionality of a particular logic, right? So which component I can use? Uh, can I use filter kind of a component where it will take the plain request as an input, and according to the expression you have written in the filter, it should be validated. If it is valid successfully, then that request will send to again channel. Otherwise, it will give the exception back to the client. As of now, for argument's sake, I understand that it is successful. Okay, what is the format? X. Now the client required the format to be changed to Y. So what is the component I can use here? Is generally if you want to transform one format to another format,
Transformer.
transformer, very good. Transform message, okay, which will take this X as an input, convert into Y format. That Y will be sent to channel. Okay, Y is also similar kind of a plain request only. Now there is a third requirement where I need to configure one component which will take that Y as an input, convert into SOAP related or REST related. What is that component?
Adapter.
Adapter. It could be a SOAP adapter or a REST adapter. Accordingly, it will send a request to the application, right? So again, am I not writing a logic while integrating with the third party application before integrating with the third party application? Yes. Again, I introduced only two or three components like that. We will be having a lot of requirements when we are connecting with the third party applications. Why I should write all this in the web application level? Will I not, I mean, if ready-made libraries are available like this, will it be very easy? What is that ready-made library? What we can call that as, we'll see now. Okay, with a simple example. And if anyone part of my demo session, there I have given one use case. What is that use case, if anyone remember?
Red Red bus.
Red bus application use case. I hope everyone on the same page, everyone watch that red bus.
Yes.
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 Okay, if anyone not done, if you are not gone with the reverse application, I will explain a similar kind of an example one more time. Okay, in detail. Let's, I mean, if you're not listen to the previous one, you don't need to worry about it. Okay, just stick on to this. Based on the
Sujit, just
concepts,
one
whatever.
question, please.
Yeah,
Before you move ahead, I understood what you did right now, but what is the exact meaning of validating the incoming request? It's
validating
very
in, I mean, there are multiple meanings you can think of that. Validating means again, you may think about a security policies and all, but as of now, I'm not pointing to that. Validation
okay.
means for example, in input request you are getting uh, body as a I mean integer 2. Okay, if that body is greater than 2, then only I want to send the request to the next processors. So that expression I should write. If it is an even number, then only I want to send to the next processor. So such kind of a validation technique I mean to say here in the filter.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, not about the security policies. Yeah. So Okay, let's take, there is a requirement from the client to develop one web application, and he has given few requirements to me. The first requirement is he want to develop one e-commerce website, e-commerce, which is a uh, product comparison website, I can say product comparison website. Okay, and he want to connect with he will be giving in the requirement itself, he want to connect with two e-commerce websites. Like, any, can you please name two e-commerce websites in the market right now? Amazon
Flipkart.
and uh, let's take Flipkart. I don't know whether it is there in US or not. If anyone from US here, Flipkart, is it available there? I don't think so.
No.
Okay, maybe eBay. Okay, you can think of eBay, right? Flipkart or eBay, anything is fine. Okay, this is the first requirement. And once he connect with the two e-commerce applications, he want to get the data. Of course, when we connect to that application, they will provide some data, right? The data will be in which format? In the respective applications format. Okay, and he want to into convert to desired format, desired format. For example, from Amazon, he is getting some XML format. Flipkart, he is getting a JSON format. He want to convert that two formats into desired format. And fourth point is he want to concatenate the data, concatenate the two responses from Amazon and a Flipkart. So basically, he want me to create one web application where we need to write a logic to connect with a third party application like Amazon and Flipkart. And once connected with that, once the client is sending a request, the response will be given by the Amazon and Flipkart in a respective formats, XML and JSON. Now that both the responses to be concatenated and to be given in the JSON format. JSON is the desired format of a client. This is the simple requirement. Okay, so first we'll see, we are not a web developers, right? So let's take, this is a web application. What is the name of that application? Smart bricks. Smart bricks. If you go directly into the smart bricks website, and if you type as a user, if you go to the website and if you type for iPhone, what is the latest series 14, and if you click on a submit button, you will be getting some responses on the page. You will be getting some responses on the page from different website, right? I will take only one field as I took in the Redbus application, just make you to relate to that. So he want price to be added under the price tag iPhone 14 from Amazon and a Flipkart to be displayed here. Okay, so this is the idea. So I will quickly draw two applications. One is Amazon and one is Flipkart or eBay, you can think. Okay, so Amazon and a Flipkart. Directly, can I go to the Flipkart and if I type for iPhone 14, if I click on a search button here also I will get some data, right? Maybe here it is cost 80k, 80k, and iPhone image will be displayed here. Same, if I go to Flipkart again, the individual website, and if I click, if I browse for iPhone 14, here also I will get some information, iPhone image, and it may be tagged to right red tag 85k. So what my client want, he want the response of Amazon and Flipkart 80k and 85k to be displayed on his web page, single page, so that he can compare, any user can compare. So this is the Amazon format, cost 80k and rate 85k. Okay, so first requirement is what, he want to send the request concurrently to this two applications. Okay, the first point, there, I mean, directly SmartBricks application is connecting with Amazon application. It's a point-to-point integration. They cannot parallelly connect with another application, right? So that could be another request. That is called point-to-point integration. Now, in order to achieve parallel processing or concurrent processing, they use some middleware tool. For example, this is your MuleSoft application or middleware tool, I can say. Just give me 1 minute. So let's take, this is your middleware tool. Okay, we'll take it as a mule application only. Again, I'm telling, don't worry about the components what I'm using, just for understanding in the overview, high level perspective. I'm telling this point. I will configure one component where when the SmartBricks application is a web application, right? What is the official protocol for any REST or any application when you're sending a request? It could be HTTP request. So HTTP request is sent by SmartBricks application client to my Mule application. I will configure one component called listener. What type of listener? HTTP listener, which will listen for the HTTP request. And then the request will send to internal memory queue. I'm not showing the internal memory queue because you need to slowly habituate yourself, visualize the internal memory queues. We cannot see actually in application also. Now that request is sent into the queue. Now I need to configure one component. Uh, if you're part of my demo, you may tell easily this one. What is this component? Where it will take one request as an input, converts into multiple requests in order to achieve parallel processing. And
Router.
yesterday and today, I'm getting frequent disconnect in internet because of my router, right? So can I call that as a router? Right? What type of router? In Mule, we use a scatter gather router. So scatter means what? It will take that one request as an input. Okay, let's take, this is the router. One request as an input. It will scatter the request into multiple. That means it will take a copy of that request, two copies, because it is going to consume two applications. So it will take a copy of the two, and then what is the component I can use here where it will convert this plain request into SOAP related or REST related. Okay, one more point. This Amazon is a web application, right? Whatever the services present in that, if anyone want to use that or anyone want to consume that, that application should expose as what? API. It could be SOAP API or a REST API. For time being, Amazon application is exposed as a SOAP API. Flipkart is exposed as a REST API. Now this plain request should be converted into SOAP related or REST related. By using which component I can make that possible? Yeah, you know already. By taking plain request as an input, converts into SOAP related and REST related. What is that?
Transform message.
Adapters. Is it not? Is it not? SOAP adapter or REST adapter, which will take plain request as an input, converts into SOAP related and REST related request. Yeah? Yes or no? So let's take, those are adapters, which is sending a request to Amazon application and also sending it to Flipkart application. They will execute and they will give the response back. What is your router? What is your router? It is scattering the request and gathering the response also. That's why we will call scatter gather. So the responsibility of that of router is what? Scattering the request to multiple applications parallelly and at the same time gathering the response as well. Finally, from this router, what is the payload? Oh, sorry, what is the body we have? Yeah, cost 80K and a rate 85K. Okay. Now, what is my third requirement from the client? He want to concatenate the two responses to display under a single body. Okay. So let's take, I'm using a transform message where this body will be given as an input to the transform message by using data view expressions. Let's take, I'm using a data view expressions here. What type of data view expression we will use, that we'll see later. So the data view expression, what it will do, it will take this body as an input, concatenated the data, and converts into the client desired format. So what is the client desired format here? What is the client desired format? He want to tag this 80k and 85k to price tag. So that transformation logic we will write, and basically entire after getting the data, whatever the modification according to the requirement you need to do, I will do at my transformer level by using a data wave expressions in mule. So let's assume we have done that, and finally the body will be converted into the desired format. That body will be given back to the client to display. So once as a middleware tool I am given the data, who is developing this web application? Web developer. He is responsible to display the application details. That means if the details are coming from Amazon, he is going to give the Amazon image, Flipkart image, okay, for easy comparison, right? And he will decide what is the background color, what is the font size, what is the image to be displayed. So basically the web developer will design presentation layer. Okay, here when the SmartPrix application is sending a request, that HTTP request is traveling from one location to another location, right? If you want to travel from one location to another location, assume that you don't have a car or a bus. Sorry, you don't have a car or a bike. Then what is the transit mode you generally will take? Public transport like bus. Yes, yes or no? So here
Yes.
also my HTTP request is traveling from one location to another location through bus like a structure, right? Through bus like a structure. Internally it is using bus framework. Okay, then what is ESB? What is ESB, guys?
Enterprise service.
Enterprise. Okay, in a layman language, can I say enterprise means some organization?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever the logic I have written here, I will call that as a service. That service is created by using a bus framework. So can I use this service for multiple applications at an organization level? For example, let's take there is one more requirement to create a similar kind of an application, SmartPrix 2. Similar kind of a requirement. So do I need to create all this ESB and all this entire service again? Can't I use this service whatever I created for a SmartPrix 2? Yes, no? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Because whatever the service you created, it is going to expose as what? API. Definitely. If anyone want to consume your service, whatever you created, that should be exposed as what? API. So if it is exposed as an API, reusability is possible. SmartPrix 1 application or SmartPrix 2 application, if having the same kind of requirement, they can connect and they can consume the service. So a service which is created by using a bus framework can be used at an enterprise level. So such service buses can called as enterprise service bus. What are the ESPs in the market right now?
MuleSoft,
Very good. MuleSoft,
Dell Boomi,
Dell Boomi. Okay.
Jitterbit.
Info web
Okay.
methods.
Tipco. Okay.
WSO,
Tipco. There is one more tool for Oracle, so I'm not remembering the name. So these all are ESPs. But Mule is not only an ESP, it is an API management tool as well. And why it is so popular nowadays? Because one reason is there are multiple reasons. One reason is it is acquired by the Salesforce, and all the major clients who are using a Salesforce is binded to use this MuleSoft as an integration platform. Okay, what are the major competitors for Salesforce? Like Oracle, Microsoft, right? They are in worry actually because the evaluation of Salesforce is very rapid, right? So if you can take any what do you call domain, they are having their own tool. So this MuleSoft is an integration tool for the Salesforce. If you write a certification also for the MuleSoft, you will be tagged under the Salesforce certification only. Okay, so MuleSoft is not only an ESB. Previously, before acquired by the Salesforce, it was maintained as a only enterprise service bus, ESB only. Okay, after the acquired by the Salesforce, it is mentioned. It is they are investing more on APIs, developing the APIs. Okay, so and few other parameters where your MuleSoft will stand differ, and what is the architecture of any point platform, and what is an orchestration. All these things we'll discuss in our continue with our tomorrow's session. Okay, I will be sharing the documents with you today. I have all your mail IDs. I hope everyone added to the WhatsApp group also, uh, apart from Santosh. And I will be sharing the drive. I mean, you can check in your shared with me option in your drive, whatever the mail IDs you have given. The documents will be provided over there, and you can download onto your desktop and keep it ready. When the time comes, you can open the document, or you can import the workspace. I will guide you what to do in the next step. Just for tomorrow, download and keep it ready on your desktop. Clear?
Sujit, one quick question here.
Yes, please.
When you say this in that in memory channel, right? Is it you meant to say it is writing to the disk?
Internal memory queue actually. I mean, if your any point studio is on your, I mean, local, yeah, obviously it will to the disk.
Okay. Oh,
Basically, any point studio is a system-based application only. There is a cloud platform also to develop the application, but which is not successful. They have not investing nowadays on the development of or enhancements of the cloud platform or developing application. So we will use any point studio also in the, I mean, in the projects or here as in the training also.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, Santosh, you stay back. Remaining guys, you can drop quickly. Please go
Thank
through the
you.
recording before coming to the
Okay.
tomorrow's session. Yeah,
Yep,
thank you.
Yep.
thank you.
Thanks, Sujit.
Yeah.
Thanks.